Today we're going to talk about water. Water is extremely vital to our blueberry industry. We use it for irrigation, pesticide application, hand washing, and cleaning equipment. We also have to realize that there are potential risks. It is our job to assess those risks and then minimize the potential of contamination. Let's start off with water assessment. We need to know our water sources. Is a water source from a well, a pond, a ditch, or maybe city water? If you or your neighbors have livestock, you should make sure that the livestock does not have access to your water sources. Ways of preventing this are maybe putting up a buffer or a fence around your ditch, your pond, or your pump house. Your method of irrigation is extremely important. If you have clean, tested water, then maybe you can have an overhead sprinkler. But if your water isn't tested, or if you're unsure about how clean it is, it's a good idea to have a drip system. This farmer, for example, he had poles and wires last year, and his water comes from a pond. So the water was falling straight onto the fruit, and my recommendation to him was to put the drip line on the ground, as you did here. Some other ways of minimizing the risks during harvest season is having a gap between your irrigation and harvest days. It is recommended that during the berry season, you should water right after harvesting. That way you have the maximum number of days in between irrigation and harvesting, therefore minimizing the risk of contamination. Only tested or high quality water should be used when spraying during the harvest season. If it is city water, no test is required. If it's well water, you should do a test. If you do not have either of those, then another source of water should be used. What is potable water? Potable water is water that is clean enough for us to drink. We need to maintain potability in hand wash stations, the water in our drinking stations, and also the water we use for washing our harvester. To further reduce the risk of contamination, it's a good idea to keep records of your irrigation. That way you know when you irrigated and when you have enough of a gap to pick. It is recommended that you have your water tested 1 to 2 times a year. Once before the season starts, so you can identify any risk factors or hazards, and then they can be fixed before the season starts. And also test it once during the season to make sure nothing has changed in your water quality. The frequency of water testing depends upon your source of water, the use of it, and the application method. If you follow our recommendations and keep records, have your water tested regularly, and do your due diligence, you can take your product to market with pride, and your customers will also know that you care about their health and well-being.